This is day 7 of working on the square body crew cab we are calling Stretch. Here I am trying to find out what's going on with the rear brakes. Enjoy.
Okay, so everybody's already seen in the time lapse, I'm sure y'all are screaming at the TV. It's no wonder you couldn't bleed your brakes. There's no brake shoes inside either one of the rear drums. So I've got an axle in my parents' house off an old rock crawler. That's where I went and got the U-joint the other day. I'm gonna go and see, hopefully it's got the same setup on the inside and I get all these pieces that we're missing. Back in a little bit. Here I figured I'd go ahead and open up these axles and see if I was missing anything, and they are different. They have a safety ring to hold the nut on, and I'm assuming there'll be more than one nut potentially too.
Why do you have fire extinguisher in the back?
Is it red?
No, it's blue. It's huge.
That's an air tank.
Oh.
It's actually a scuba tank. It's supposed to be
Why do you have it in there?
because it was going to be mounted back there to hold air to where I pump my tires back up if I needed to. This is not moving. Oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. There's a keyway right there. There's a key in it. I didn't bend down far enough. I need a little magnet now.
Found one? Want me to get one, Dad?
Yeah, you can see if you can find one. Oh, man, I about hammered that to pieces, didn't I? Y'all see that keyway and y'all didn't say nothing to me? Oh. That's not in my axle. I need to do this to both sides and get these parts. Okay, I made it back my rock crawler, and I was going to steal the drums off this truck. But if you look, there's no drum behind that wheel. This was getting ready to have a disc brake conversion put on it, and I don't want to do the disc brakes on the other truck. So this is a no-go for brakes. Let's find them somewhere else. We're on our way to the junkyard. Right here. We're here. And I don't know where to park or what to do. But we're gonna go in here and see what they will let us do. Alright, we've been investigating the junkyard. We found a few gems already. A little more than what we want to pay, but we're just continuing to look around. I'll catch you up on what we found here in just a little bit. It's a 4-wheel drive 2500 frame. It has a 14-bolt rear with disc brakes. So I need to see. Alright, Gardner, go over there. I want you to hook on the outside of this spring on the other side. And let me pull it back. So that's how wide the springs are. Like 51 1/4. Alright, take that off. We're gonna go measure that other truck. Alright. I'll go show you the other thing here in a minute. This axle has the brakes we need, but they won't sell it just the axle. Here's where the frame's been, Gardner. It's buckled bad. Look at that spring pack. My goodness, what a spring pack. Well, let's measure these springs at the front. You go to the other side. with the edge of the spring. So it's not no 50 anything. What did I measure before? This is 44.
You never measured this.
Oh, it's because the other one's not a dually. It's not a dually. Alright, but they'll sell this whole frame for everything just like it is for a decent price. And it's got one, how many wheels go with it? It's got 4 wheels on it. It's got the dually wheels so that I could have my right spacing. So I'm getting a lot more by getting this frame than what you think. But man, don't really want to do that, but if it's cheaper than brakes, I'll have a spare axle and spare suspension and steering components. Center fender is better than ours. Just to know.
It's better than yours?
Yeah, ours is rusted through.
Yeah, but we weren't getting this. We're just getting frame.
Yeah. Here we found another square body. It's a K5 Blazer. Yeah. Another Blazer. But this is not much left here.
We're trying to finish things.
Yeah. We go look at this Suburban. That's a Suburban. Look, it's not really rusted either. Man, if somebody... Well, the back end of it's rusted. The front of the cab looked okay. This had electronic ABS and stuff. It's just... Alright, let's walk around this some more. I didn't bring the boots. I gotta pick a different path. And Gardner, he brought his boots. Okay. I mean, the front doors and the front clip's gone. But the rear doors, I don't know if the Suburban doors, I would think they'd work on a truck. Let's look at the interior. I didn't want to stick my head in it a minute. No dash. Split seats. Oh, the rear's got a folding seat. And it's got the rear seat. Has the same console as my truck. Mine's a different color. Brake booster's laying in here. And okay. Gardner, this one's got the rear seat belts. I would think they were the same as the truck. Alright. No, he'll part out that. This one's already been split apart. Okay. Here's the last square body. Still a 1500 frame. It is 4-wheel drive, 6 lug. Gardner, it's got a seat cover on a good seat. The seat's not tore. I don't know that the cloth seat dash is busted on this one. We made it back from the junkyard, and the whole time I've thought about why didn't we put a belt on this alternator when I had this whole stack of belts. But it's got to go around the crank pulley, power steering, the AC compressor, and the water pump, and it's long. It's a long belt. So I didn't have one out of this stack that would fit it anyway. So we'll have to get that to check the AC in the future. We did find this. I brought these home from my other axle. They're a much better looking axle nut. They fit, so I will do that if I put these back together. We decided, since we didn't get anywhere with the brakes, we would start working on the fuel system some more. We're taking the cover off of the tank valve to see what these lines do. I'm probably just going to delete the driver's side tank connection altogether. Fuel collector valve, right there.
see the two lines. This is the feed line because it's larger, and that's the return. That's what I assume. I'm not gonna film the rest of this. I'm gonna get this off, and we'll check back in. Got it loose from the frame. Got most of the hoses loose. Little trick I wanted to tell you: when you loosen up your clamps, you can leave them, put them back on your hoses further back, and you don't lose them. So I'll keep all this together as much as I can, and pull this out where we can look at it. Satisfaction. New tank. I just need a piece to connect to the lines and extend them. So vent line, pressure side, return side. 3 hoses and the tank will be right there. Simple.
So I've got everything laid up here. So this is the fuel pump connection for one tank. This is the fuel pump connection for the other. Tank selector valve. And tank selector valve has 2 red wires, which I assume are positive, that go back and feed the other side of the fuel pumps. This should be power coming to the fuel selector valve. So this should be power to my fuel pump. There's a nut on the back side. Feel better. Get mess out of the way. I'll do the same to the next. You know the process. Okay. That frame looked much better. Got the ugly spacers off. The old tank straps off. This piece right here is welded on. That's getting ready to come off. I'm gonna go get the grinder, and I'm gonna take this muffler loose. Okay, we're back. I had some camera settings wrong, but here's an overview of all the parts we took off. We got the tank selector valve, its covers, extra tank stuff off, the old bed mounts, and all the lines and wiring associated with that. We're getting ready to cut off this extra piece and some of this other pieces of this frame that are not needed. Gardner was smart, and we saved the exhaust hanger piece. We cut the part we needed off so we could weld exhaust to it whenever we get us a muffler. We got the old muffler off, cleaned the frame off, cut this piece out so if we put a new shock on it, the shock would actually work. The frame was in the way to take the shock on and off. And cut the mud flap off because I kept running into it, and we won't need it with the regular bed. So Rear end of the truck looks a lot better.
Right here I'm cleaning up the sharp edges on the frame from where we removed the braces, and my little girl brings me and my son some milk and cookies. What a good way to end the night of hard work on your truck. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Have a good night.